With some highly anticipated games right around the corner, our eyes are peeled on a new video game voice actors union strike over the use of AI. We'll talk about who's affected and some notable exclusions.
And unfortunately, another week with layoffs, this time affecting a popular indie publisher. We're going to talk about all this stuff and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another brand new episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest news happening in the video game industry. You can check us out on Fruit Lab, YouTube, podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red, and I'm joined every single week by this man right here, Full Clip. What's going on, dude? How are you?
What's up? Doing all right. How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited. I've been playing a ton of video games, so I was like really excited to come here and chat with you about what I've been playing. And yeah. What's new in your world? Anything exciting?
Yeah. I'm glad one of us is playing video games because once again, I'm not bringing much to the table as far as that goes. But I've been staying busy between work and working out in the garage, building some furniture and things like that. And while I'm doing it, I went and bought an audiobook for Ready Player One. Did you watch the movie Ready Player One?
Yeah, I read the book and seen the movie.
Gotcha.
Enjoy both of them. Yeah.
Yes,
and I listened to the audiobook.
Oh, there you go. Is it the
Will Wheaton?
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't realize that's
fan
halfway
of
through.
Will Wheaton. Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. He's done a couple of books that I've listened to audiobook versions of him, and now I'm at the point where I'm like, I get a little turned off if I see that he's reading a book. So I'm like, But yeah. Nice. I really enjoyed that story. It's fun. It's probably one of the most fun books out there.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure what year the book originally came out. I knew the movie was like 2018, so I'm maybe 60% of the way through the audiobook, and I rented the movie off of YouTube, went and watched the whole thing. I don't know why I want to watch the movie in the middle of the book, but
yeah, noticing
some
choice.
The differences and things like that, just reliving it because I saw it in theaters when it came out, and I think it holds up pretty well. It's a little bit better than I remember, and I noticed a lot more like little details and Easter eggs with the like in the video halfway through. But so far so good. I'm thinking that there's like a second book in the series. I don't know if that is related.
There is. It is. Not
Same
as good.
Story continues.
I actually really disliked that one because it was like the author was like, okay, let's just jam this one with as many pop culture / video game references as possible, and like try to recreate something. And it was like I still ultimately enjoyed that I read it. I think I actually listened to that one too, because there were some good parts in it, but overall it was like it didn't need to exist.
Yeah. So. And sometimes that's how this first one feels anyway. It's kind of the author's like, here's this movie that I loved when I was a kid, and now I'm going to put it in the hands as if some grand character in the book is saying it. And then everybody stands up and claps because it's so good.
Yes. He has another book called Armada, and that one is in a different universe, but that one is also video game references. It's more about like fighter pilot type stuff in games. That one I liked better than the Ready Player One 2, but still Ready Player One is by far the best. I love that one.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like life imitating art or not, but whenever that book did come out, it seemed to do a lot of prediction of like the future of how AI is working and how the metaverse is supposed to work. As far as like Chat GPT or not,
absolutely
VR chat is what I meant to say there.
Yes. If I look at all distracted during this, I have. Well, I was telling you we're dog sitting 2 extra Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, and they are just walking around me, getting caught up in my cords and stuff. So
Gotcha.
I apologize. All right, let me talk about what I've been playing. First of all, I think you're gonna like this one. So right after we recorded last week, Modern Warfare 3 came to Game Pass. Well, I was like, I didn't get to check that one out. I played like once during the beta or whatever, or during a free play thing, and I was like, okay, I remember really liking all those maps, the multiplayer maps. So I've been playing quite a bit of Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer because it is such a, like, it's like the nostalgia from when I was deep in the game. Like when I was like playing at its max is when I was playing these maps originally, you know, and they're just recycling all of them. Rust and Shipment is there, and you know there's some great new ones, but the one with the airport and like all these things, and I'm like, man, I'm like, and you get that muscle memory where you're playing through, you're like, okay, I remember I run this way, hide behind here. So I think I'm up to like level like 30 something in that since it came out last week. So that's been a lot of fun. I've been doing that, and I've been playing. I talked about it a little bit last week. Overwatch 2. I went back and I was playing some of that after playing Concord, and so I've been playing between the two of those. I've just been playing like Overwatch 2 and Modern Warfare 3. And I tried, oh my God, I'm so frustrated. Let's talk about this for a second. So the Marvel Rivals closed beta is happening right now as we speak. And it's been going on for a few days. And I didn't get a code to get in the game. But if you go on Twitch, you watch Twitch for an hour, you can claim a drop at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So you go on, you go to claim the drop, and the website is just getting hammered with tons of people trying to get codes. So the first night didn't even work. You couldn't even click on the redeem button. Didn't even work at all. And then 10 minutes later, it says all the codes are claimed. Oh. The next night, I got a little bit further. I got to the part where I could choose what console I wanted it on. And then I got to that part, and I'm like, oh, here we go. We're doing it. Go to claim it. Freezes up, doesn't work at all after that. So I'm like, okay, well, I made it one step further. And then yesterday, I tried it again, 8 o'clock. I made it an additional step further. I got to choose what area, like I put PS5, America, and then it goes to the verification screen. And you know these new things, instead of like the CAPTCHA, now it's like you got to slide the puzzle piece over. Oh, yeah. You've seen those? Yeah. So I did that, and it said every single time I would do it, it said it was wrong. I'm like, how do you get it wrong? I'm putting the puzzle piece where it needs to go. And every single time I did it like 20 times and it just wouldn't go. And then ultimately it said all the codes are out of stock. So that was last night. That was as far as I got. So every night I'm making it a little bit further into getting one of these codes. So I'm going to try again tonight. We'll see what happens. The beta goes on for, I believe it's a few more days. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to try it. Dude, there's people on Reddit selling these codes for 30, 40 bucks.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's got to be 5 days like a resale market.
Yeah, I looked on eBay even too, and they're selling them, 30 bucks. I was like, well, maybe if I just go on and do best offer, $5. I'm not paying more than $5 to go and play a beta, as much as I want to get in this game. So it's been very frustrating. So I've been, that's why I've been playing these other multiplayer games.
In that beta form, well, who knows? Maybe you'll just want to go back to Overwatch, just like Concord made you want to do. But that's really cool about Modern Warfare 3. I didn't even know that it came to Game Pass. So I didn't play it either. That's got me kind of wanting to re-up my subscription, go over there and play a couple months of that until the new one comes out and get kind of refreshed.
It's good, man. I'm really enjoying it. And I think a lot of it is because it is all these older maps that I feel like I have a little bit of, I'm not just going in there cold. Like it's definitely like that nostalgia, but you're seeing people like, they must not have prestige anymore, because I'm playing against people that are like level 600 something. And I'm like, wouldn't you like prestige? Right. But I don't know if that's a thing anymore, or if they just want to be level 600 something.
I think they made a change there where like you get the prestige icons at certain levels or something like that. Okay. So your icon changes, but your level just keeps going up to like 1,000 or something.
It's insane, these people I'm playing against. But I'm really enjoying that, and the skill-based matchmaking is working, because there's many times where I'm at the top, dude, and it's been like playing the X Defiant where I'm like constantly getting destroyed. So it feels a little bit better. So nice. And then I got into some of our new releases. So should we get in there and start talking about those?
Absolutely.
All right, let's move along. Talk about our new releases from last week. All right, first up, The Star Named Eos came out on July 23rd on PS5, Xbox S, X, Nintendo Switch, and PC. This is one that I was looking forward to, and I was lucky enough to get a review copy of this game, and it is a gorgeous hand-drawn puzzle game with like this beautiful story. So basically what it is, it's you're in a room and you have a photo and you need to recreate it somehow. And you have to find the pieces of the photograph throughout and you solve these puzzles. There's like boxes where you have to find codes and it's like everything leads to one another and you then recreate this photo. And then in doing so, it tells the story about your mother and not your mother, but like, yeah, your mother in the game. And it's this beautiful story. It's a very fast it's not fast. It's depending on how quickly you do the puzzles, but the game, I think it's like 2 to 4 hours to tell the full story. So it's not there's not a ton to it, but it is such an enjoyable 2 to 4 hours. The entire time that I played it, I finished it, and the puzzles are smart. They're not super impossible, and the whole like world that you're thrown into with the photos, it's fully voice acted throughout. Dude, it is such a good game. If you're a fan of point and click puzzle games or good games with a great story or a heartfelt story, Star Named Eos is very, very good. It's one of my favorite games that I've played this year.
Nice. What's your platform? Because this looks kind of perfect for the Switch to me.
Yeah, I'm playing it on the Steam Deck, and it is fantastic. So yeah, absolutely, handheld is the way to go because it's not, graphically intensive or anything like that, and those hand drawn colorful art is going to look great on those smaller screens too. So yeah, I definitely recommend it for that. And it's only, I think, on sale right now, maybe like $13. So it depends. Like I know people here 2 to 4 hours and it's not a big selling point, so if it's something you want to wait for to grab on sale, I absolutely recommend it. All right, next up, Earth Defense Force 6 came out on PS4, PS5, and PC. This came out on July 25th. This is a sequel in the Earth Defense Force series. Have you ever played these games?
I don't think so, but was there possibly a demo back on like the PlayStation 1 or 2?
Dude, I was wondering the same thing, and there must have been, because I was like, I've never played this, and then I watched a video of it, and I'm like, this seems very familiar to me. Because I guess so Earth Defense Force 5 came out in 2017. So, if they came out every, 5 years, I don't know. It's definitely possible, but it's like basically like you're playing like a B movie where, you're shooting these bugs or whatever. It's a third person shooting game. And yeah, it's just, I'm hearing, so there's a lot of mixed reviews right now. And if you look at it on Steam, it got review bombed big time because it, you have to like an Epic launcher type thing on it. Mm-hmm. So people are very, very upset about that. But looking outside of that, looking at reviews, it's getting genuinely favorable reviews saying it's just more of the same, just more of you going out there playing like this B movie where it's just like a cheesy action movie. From the dialogue to the action scenes, everything, it's just like, it's supposed to be like real cheesy, tongue-in-cheek. But this one it's the largest one in the whole series, and this one you could play co-op with up to 4 people. So yeah, everything I hear is good, minus if you're playing it on PC, you do have to get through that Epic whatever front launcher thing, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's at, what is it at? I was just looking at it. It's like 40 something, 49% on Steam. So not great.
Yeah. It doesn't look like a well put together game. I hate to say that. But the graphical quality and things like that, this feels like a game from 2017.
Yeah, dude, it's the same engine. I was reading about it. It's the exact same engine they used on the previous one. Exactly the same. So that's another like hang up but the game, I guess the gameplay is good, but the graphics,
doesn't have to look great to
old,
feel great.
Dated. Yeah. So yeah. All right, and next up, Zoo Simulator came out on July 25th on PC. This is the other one that I was playing, and you know I'm a sucker for these simulator games now. And this one is from our friends over at Playway SA. They're the publisher, developed by Games Incubator. I've never played anything from them, but they had like a dog hotel game or something. So this is another review copy that I did get. I'm only like 3 hours into this one, and as simulator games go, this one is really, really well done. And I will say, the least buggy out of probably any of them that I've played.
Very nice.
Crazy, right?
And we've talked about the idea of the simulator verse, where these games by Playway are coming together. So I noticed in the trailer, they've got pressure washing. They've got potentially like some pool cleaning like stuff.
Yeah.
House building.
And it's funny too, because they include all these things and they're never as good as the OG. Like in this one, you have to like clean these rocks or whatever, and the pressure washing on it is terrible. It's like this limp stream that comes out, and it's like, I gotta aim it. It's terrible. In fact, that's my biggest problem with this game, is that the mini games for each thing, for the cleaning and all this stuff, they're not fun. Whereas, you know, previously, like, you'll at least have like, you know, a little fun thing to get you, like you're washing the windows or whatever, and even that like is just like a fun little thing. This one, there's no rhyme. Like, you just go, if I'm like cleaning up an area, like it's just, I'm not cleaning up that particular area. I just have to click X on it like 4 times and it'll go. You know, it's not recognizing the actual parts on the ground, you know? So not great. But as far as the whole zoo simulator thing, it's like a combination of like those, you know, flipper games or house builder or cleaning games where you have to like restore this, and like a zoo tycoon where then you have to fill it with animals, keep the animals happy and healthy, and then you have guests coming in and you have to listen to their opinions and you have to hire people. So it's much more well-rounded game in terms of one of those, but it starts the same way. Like your grandpa or your uncle dies and leaves you a piece of property. In this case, it's a zoo. And you call up your guy, he hooks you up with a rhino, and bam, you're in the zoo business. So
it's Ohio Simulator.
Exactly. But yeah, it's very well done. One problem is that it's really short. Like, you know, you go through it and there's not a ton to do. So I'm kind of wondering if, and we've seen it from these type of games in the past, if it's just they're just going to be adding DLC, because I could see that happening. You know, all these games are just like, okay, you know, now we're going to add like all this, and like, let's give them the base game, and then we'll just keep putting out zoo DLC, new animals, new, you know, biomes, that sort of thing. So
okay. So I guess that's where it kind of falls a little short, is in the content that you're actually able to do. Because when I think of Zoo Tycoon or Planet Zoo, those other versions of this that aren't as technical with like the work aspect, but the animal management, park management side of things, it's like you could just create a gigantic zoo. Right. So I'm guessing you're going to like just run out of animals. You're going to have 3 of the same giraffe enclosures. Right.
Yeah. There's a set number of enclosures that you have to repair and stuff like that. And then, I don't know how many total animals there are, but yeah, there's definitely a set number of animals. And right off the start, it's really stressful. Like normally these games I could just chill out to, but this one, the way that it's done, so it has like, you know, like when you started off, basically like the tutorial. Here's the list of all the things you need to do, right? Get this, go feed this, and do this. So like right as soon as you get your first animal, you get a rhino, and they're like, okay, now go open your zoo. And it's okay, so you've got one animal, and everything else is falling apart, but they're like, go open the zoo, do it. So like, then you're forced to open the zoo, and then you're constantly getting negative reviews. They're like, okay, go look at your review now. And it was like, this zoo only has one animal. And then it was like, everything's falling apart. I'm like, I'm trying to fix it up, but the game wouldn't let me. And then like, so I'm trying to do all this other stuff, fix it up or whatever. And all of a sudden I get a notice like, you've neglected your rhino and they're taking it away from you. And I'm like, no, that was the one animal I had. So
yeah.
Okay,
now this might be a make or break question for some people. can you do what you could do in Zoo Tycoon back in the day and like put people in the enclosures and let a tiger get at them or let the tigers loose?
No, I don't think so. And right now, like every time I put an animal in there, like I just keep the enclosure open because it doesn't seem to want to escape. And we'll see if at some point I do have like some sort of animal roaming the zoo. But right now I'm just leaving it open. And the ostrich seems perfectly fine to stay inside of its enclosure. So yeah. All right, that is it for our new releases from last week. All right, let's move things along. Let's talk about our news of the week. All right, our top story this week, video game actors are going on strike for the first time since 2017. They're striking for higher pay, better safety measures, and protections from new generative AI technologies. This was, I know they voted on it. Oh, it's been maybe over a year. I remember that when we talked about them voting on the possibility of going on strike, and there have been nothing, no good talks since then, I guess, between the SAG-AFTRA and the studios. So it started July 26th. The strike began. The picket line. They're out in the picket line. About 2,600 voice actors and motion capture artists out there, fighting the good fight, trying to get better pay and safety from AI. What do you think of this whole thing?
Yeah, and this is kind of right on the heels of the strikes last year, which I believe were like Hollywood actors, actresses,
right,
and for the same reasons. Like they don't want their likenesses to be turned into AI that can just be used by a corporation forever, despite them not getting paid for it or something like that. So I guess this is a real concern. You're going to pay somebody for 3 hours of voice acting in a booth, and then you're going to turn that into anything and everything you want indefinitely, for the sequel and the third installment or something. Who knows? I guess you have to really pay attention to what you're signing in a contract these days as far as that goes. But hopefully, if there's a positive that comes out of this strike, it'll be more transparency on what's going to happen there, less of it overall. I mean, I do kind of want to see video games where generative AI can be used, but I want the voice actor to be compensated fairly for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you don't need much from people anymore for them to be able to use that. Like, how much, like, I feel like they could do it. It's less and less every time, too. It used to be like a certain number of words or statements that you could like then create whatever with. There's absolutely enough of us talking out there that they could AI us, Maybe that's our future. The AI gaming news.
Maybe so. We'll just write the words, and the AI personas will take over.
Take
our personas. We'll do that.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. What would you be?
Chipmunk.
Ooh, horse. So hopefully this is a fast process and they get what they want quickly, because we got to get back out there, get these games coming. Good news in this whole thing is that any games that have been in process of being made prior to September 2023 are exempt from this strike. So that means GTA 6 will not be held up, because that was one of my first thoughts. I was like, oh no, this is gonna jam them up. But no, anything prior to that is exempt and can be worked on until finalized. So just new stuff. So we'll see. Hopefully they get what they want. And all right, next up, Warner Brothers Games has officially acquired Multiversus developer Player First Games. So this was, it was kind of a surprise to me, kind of wasn't. So it was a surprise in that, like, WB Discovery, they're going through this whole thing right now. They're trying all these cuts, and they're really in debt, a lot, like billions and billions of dollars. So I was like, okay, it was a surprise when they bought this, and I'm like, this is long term probably not going to be great for anybody at Player First Games, but it probably makes more sense if they were paying them a certain amount for all this development to be done on the game to maybe, take that in, and they'll end up saving money in the long term with them. The good news, I think, is that this is showing me that they are literally investing in Multiversus as a whole, to continue by them buying this studio, saying, okay, well, we have plans for this game, and that's good. I'm excited. I haven't played it too much since it came back, but I got to get back in there. A couple quotes I want to read real fast from Tony Hune, the head of Player First Games. He says, "Our team is excited to join the Warner Brothers Games family, and we feel that this will be great for Multiversus overall. We are working to make the Multiversus game experience the best it can be, and having our development team integrated with the publisher is optimum for the players." And then Warner Brothers head David Haddad said, "We have worked with Player First Games over several years to create and launch Multiversus, and we are very pleased to welcome this talented team to Warner Brothers Games. The bright and creative team at Player First Games adds to our extensive development capabilities." So they are now part of Warner Brothers Games, along with NetherRealm Studios, TT Games, Monolith Productions, and Avalanche Software. So,
wow,
nice lineup there.
They went from pulling the game off of the internet. We weren't even convinced that they were going to come back out with it, to buying the developer. So I hope that means this time Warner Brothers is kind of really planning for the future of this game. Yeah, me too. And it does seem that way. But again, with how rocky it is over there at Warner Brothers, with all the cuts and all the financial issues, who knows? Who knows? This could be the first to go, depending on how much money it's making them. So we'll see. All right, next up, some more bad news. Humble Games has laid off all 36 of its staff. Humble Games is a publishing company. It's not Humble Bundle, the company that gives discounts on games. Now, granted, they are part of this conglomerate, but Humble Games was the publishing studio owned by media conglomerate Ziff Davis. They own IGN, Eurogamer, GameIndustry.biz, all those things. So they laid off the full Humble Games thing, and they did say, let me see, there was a thing from Humble. Or from Ziff Davis. "This decision was not made lightly and involved much deliberation and careful thought with the goal of ensuring the stability and support of our developers and ongoing projects." So I don't know what that means, ongoing projects, because they pretty much they didn't shutter the whole publisher, but I don't know what their plans are with no staff. I feel like that's something you need to run a company, is staff, but who knows? I'm not a businessman. So yeah, I was really upset when I heard this. They're probably one of my favorite indie publishers because of their wide variety of just interesting independent games. So Unpacking, they did half of Slay the Spire. They put that in a lot more households. It was already out, but then they took it under their wing. Bunch of stuff, man. So it was a big bummer when I saw that. They had a lot of great games coming out in the future as well. So we'll see what happens with that. I was kind of bummed because I played Never Alone, and I didn't even realize there was a sequel coming. But that's something that in all this reporting has come out. Never Alone 2. And that's a game that I enjoyed playing with my wife, playing on the Switch, playing on the TV together, just pass the controller back and forth. And that's kind of sucks that we're not going to see the sequel to it. Well, maybe we will, but is it going to be in a finished state if there's no staff to continue working on it?
Right, absolutely. And it's my understanding that all of the devs working with Humble Games didn't know about the layoffs until it was announced to the public too, which is crazy. That they've been working this, trying to their blood, sweat, and tears, trying to put their game out there in the world, and then come to find this out. So. It's a big bummer. I do have some quotes that I want to read from this. So Emily Kiefer, she was the senior QA at Humble Games. One thing she said: "The game industry is volatile. It's been inundated by people who only want exponential growth at the expense of making great games with great teams. Billionaires and CEOs are making record profits at the expense of the employees who actually create the products. But I believe we have the power to create studios that benefit us as game developers and not people that only see us as money printing machines. So, well said. Absolutely. Yeah, there's got to be a way for this to be beneficial to everybody, and not see them as just someone that they could just throw away once they're not making enough money or once their games are completed. So, yeah.
And so, did we talk about the unionization last show that's happening at like Bethesda, Microsoft?
Bethesda, yeah. So, yeah, I hope it keeps spreading. I would like to see this, across the whole games community and see this. They need to take back the power. You know what I mean? I did read, some things talking about upcoming games or games that have just been released and whether or not there would be content coming. So like #Blood has upcoming content, and they're saying they're going to just support it on their own, the studio for that. Same thing, it says the teams behind Never Alone 2 and Magical Action Wizard of Legend 2 both announced that development would continue on their sequels unaffected. So so there's that. They're just going to have to find, I don't know if they'll still get put out under the Humble Games banner or how that's going to work. But yeah, I guess only time will tell. And hopefully all those people that were affected by that can find jobs somewhere else in the industry if they want to stay in the industry. Because at this point, I don't know, you're better off going to join like a bank or something somewhere. All right, and last up, Fallout London is finally here. The huge fan-made mod to Fallout 4 is out now through GOG. You get it there. Over 100 people, volunteer modders, worked on this game. Took many years. And they're saying it's basically Fallout 4.5 now. It's over 20 hours of content in this game. It's pretty crazy. Is this something you're going to check out?
I'd love to. I don't think I've bought a copy for PC yet of Fallout 4. I played it on the PlayStation 4. But if I can find it on sale, I'll grab it because this is free as far as I know.
Yeah. Yep.
This
free.
Entire mod, and you can grab it through Steam or GOG, so you got a little bit of safety there.
Oh, it is on Steam too? Okay.
I believe so.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I wasn't sure. Yeah, dude, Fallout 4 was just, in one of the recent sales, I think it was like $3 or something. So you could definitely grab it for cheap. When I was watching the trailer for this, I was like, this is very, very British. Like, I could not understand half of what the people were saying, but I was like, all right, I like it. But it looks great. It really does look like London. That Falloutification of London instead of the Americas that we're so used to seeing. So it looks cool.
And it sounds good too. I heard that they've got some actual known voice actors who have worked on this.
Yeah, Neil Newbon from Baldur's Gate. I know he's in it. So yeah, definitely they got the best. But yeah, 100 voice actors got in there to do it. So, and it's such a big mod that it's not even on the mod websites because it's they can't even host it. So you have to get it separate from so yeah, very cool. This is something that I remember when it was first talked about that I was like, oh, this is a really cool idea. And I completely forgot about it. It was years ago when I was like, oh wow, that's a fun idea. And then now however many years later, they're putting out this huge game. So really cool. All right, and that is it for us. It's a short show today. Not a ton happening. This is mostly summer. I was hoping for more stuff coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, but not a ton of video game news. Lots of great movie news and comic book news. Some big stuff going on over there. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Dr. Doom. Did you see that? Crazy. No. Don't even know how that works. But yeah, really cool stuff about the Avengers, dude. The Avengers movies, dude. I know you're not super into that, but I've been watching the news all weekend because Comic-Con has been busting. But yeah, no video game news. So we're just cutting it short. And even then I was like, we could do a top 5 to make up for some time. And I'm like, no, we're just going to make it short so that you and I could go play in the yard, do what we do. You know, it's a beautiful day out there.
Oh yeah.
You could go to work, whatever you want to do. I could go
That's
drink
my
beer.
plan.
All right. Well, that being said, thank you very much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. Hopefully next week we'll be back, you know, with an action-packed full show again. But in the meantime, go to YouTube. Pop Culture Playground is where you'll find this show. Also, Game Facts, where you'll find full clip, putting sub GAMEFAX. And then any podcast service, you'll find this show. Just type in GNW, and then you'll have the whole back catalog. Hit subscribe, and you know, it's just there, ready for you when you want it. And then go check out fruitlab.com. It's a great website where you can earn a cryptocurrency by watching video game content, posting video game content. It's pretty cool. You can get some PlayStation cards, Game Pass. You could be out there playing Modern Warfare. See, there you go, dude. Go cash in some of your Fruit Lab pips and go play some Modern Warfare 3 on Game Pass. What's stopping you? Nothing at all. All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you next week with more Gaming News Weekly.